Okay, so I feel like a lot of men don't lack emotions. They just lack the environment where to feel safe, like with those emotions, like to be able to express it, right? Today I have some of my friends here with me, and we're gonna just hold space and talk about some, yeah, topics related to men's mental health and just anything. I really want this to be like a dialogue, guys. Like, I want us to just talk like how we would talk, on a regular. So,
Yeah, awesome.
yeah. So, really quickly, I would love for you guys to just introduce yourself and also say what season do you feel like you're in right now in your life.
I'm
Isaac.
first. Okay. Hello, my name's Isaac. Um, what season I'm in? I think I'm getting out of a transition period. I would moved here to Dallas from New York a little over a year ago, year and a half. Pretty like unexpected move. I thought I was going to be in New York for a while, and I got a opportunity here in Dallas for work, and so I packed up everything in one weekend and moved
That's
out here.
bold.
So, but it's been smooth so far. Been working, enjoying work. I had to find apartment and find community, all that stuff. So I think I'm settling in now. Now I'm kind of now that I'm a little settled in, trying to get a large scale plan of life, and I think I've been on go for a while, like probably over a year. So now I'm kind of wanting to settle and see what my next move is, whether that just be stability or not. I've lived in like 3 different cities since undergrad, so I got to find a way to chill a little bit and
Yeah.
do some more stuff. So anyway, I don't know the name for it, but I think I'm a little past a transition period.
Transition period. That's fair.
Hi. Hi, my name is Tito, and the season I'm in, I'll say that like right now I'm in summer, but on a more
I wouldn't
on a
imagine.
more on a more personal level, I would say that I'm in a period where I'm trying to lay my foundations for my life, career, and so on and so forth.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sam. I think I agree with Tito. I'm in the same phase right now. I've lived in Dallas for about 3 years now, so I'm in that season of like kind of locked in, connecting, networking. Just I've started laying my foundation for the rest of my life. I'm in my mid 25s.
Yeah, how old is everyone?
I said I'm in my
Just
mid 25.
Chill.
I'm in my
You got
mid
a baby
20s.
here though.
kidding. Got it.
25. I'm 25.
25. Okay,
How old are
okay.
you?
How old are you, back there?
I think you're 30.
Guys,
No,
are we
I'm 27. I'm turning
27, 28.
okay?
I'm
Okay.
24.
No, well,
I mean, the thing is that
have
there,
baby
there are going to
numbers.
be some people watching that are going to relate, to just the seasons you guys talk about, like where you
sure.
are, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's, at where we unravel. I didn't even introduce myself.
yeah, who are you, please?
Yeah, my name is Sage, you guys, and yeah, welcome to Where We Unravel again. And I can't even believe I forgot that. But yeah, I think with this podcast, I really want it to feel as authentic and relatable to like everyone that's listening. So yeah, it sounds like all three, like all of us, me included, I feel like I'm also in a transitional, period. But yeah, let's talk about the main thing why you guys are here today. The main topic, men's mental health, right? I feel like a lot of people, like, we want to hold more spaces for men's mental health, but sometimes we don't know like where to start. Would you guys kind of say that? Like,
Yeah.
we know that it's important, but there's so many barriers that kind of are there to even start the conversation, right? Sam, do you?
I think it's really like how you grow up. So like for me, my mom, my parents, they're like African. Like I'm from Nigeria anyway, so
I think we're all
I was
Nigerian,
supposed to
right?
say,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think we're all
can
from
share
Nigeria.
We're all
that
Nigerian.
one.
So like growing up, like I hate to say this, but like my mom did not believe in mental health. So it's like when you grow up like that, you don't really know how to start it. You don't know how to attack it because you don't really. You just have in that mind like, okay, I don't believe it because my mom doesn't believe in it. So like there's no way to have mental health issues or have mental health
Right.
situations going on. So that's kind of like how I feel about it. I don't know if you guys relate to
Yeah,
that.
I think a lot of our parents were under that same
Yeah.
mentality, especially if it's just like, you pray on it, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
literally.
I think also because it was always about, our parents came and it was about opportunity and making sure you do well in school, all this stuff, that wasn't like the paramount focus. Like, what do you mean you're depressed or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think for a lot of us, I mean, me personally, I think it wasn't until probably till college that I had to face any type of real, okay, like, my mental health, before that you kind of hear that and you're like, it's whatever until something really like happens to you that, shakes you at your core. I mean, regardless of kind of how strict the upbringing was and everything, you're still protected to a degree when you're growing up. So it's like, you don't, until some big life stuff hits you and kind of shakes your mentality, I don't think you really face that, mental
Yeah.
health situation. So I think that's, at least in my life, when I started prioritizing it and realizing that, stepping out, taking ownership of that piece
Was
on my own
important.
and realizing the impact it has on you and on
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point. Like our parents came here and they were just like very fight or flight, right?
Exactly,
Just
yeah.
like we need to make this happen. And in a way, I mean, I don't know, for men, you guys kind of fall into that like we need to go, 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 go. We don't have a break to kind of pause and regulate, because yeah, if mom didn't believe it, then I'm going to believe that it doesn't matter, right? And then society sends all those messages like in many ways, right?
I think society says that. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but there's like the push for men to express or whatever, which is I'm by the way all for that, and I think they should. But then also I feel like if the expression's too much now, it's I beg who gonna be the boys. It's a lot of different discourse that
Yes.
comes, which I think that's like a niche thing. It's not like everyone that happens all the time, but I do feel like it is like us as men know really more so, especially if you're not already programmed like that. That you kind of deal with. You're not going to overly express certain things. If you already weren't like that, mind you, it doesn't seem as comfortable or as accepted
Yeah.
or necessary. Really, is more so because like you said, it's always something to do. Like you can't really be pondering on a lot of stuff. So
Right. Tito, I know you wanted to say something.
Sorry, what was the question again?
You forgot. It's okay. But if when it does come back, just
Yeah.
chime in. But I think something you just said, like as men, even with social media, like when guys do certain things, the girls are like, oh, that's too much, like this and that, right? But I really, really believe in the right space, you will be validated, right? The right people will validate you that your emotions are not too much as a man, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, I understand like God created us like very different, but yeah, we all feel emotions at the same level. It's just you guys have been told that you're not allowed to. So you actually learn to deny yourself when you feel certain things, right? Which is where we are right now in just the crisis with mental health with men, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like, nowadays men can express more emotions. There's like more leeway to express emotions and stuff, but it's been ingrained so much that we're just like, oh, can we really? Like without being judged. And yeah, you're right about like, who gonna be the men. But it's just like realistically, as men, we also do have responsibilities to do. So we have to like keep a balance to it.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, still express your emotions with the right people
Yeah,
at the right time with the right
sure.
crowd. You can't just
Yeah.
be like, oh, like all over social media, like post about
Yeah,
emotions.
exactly, yeah.
You can. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, in order for it to be effective, you have to have like the right support system,
Exactly.
which is what I feel like a lot of people are lacking.
Yeah. What would it look like to have that balance though, of like to get things done and still feel your emotions? Like I'm just curious, like do you guys like what does that look
That's a
like?
good question, but I really don't know because, like for me, I find peace for myself. So like, let's say I go to work and then someone's like really making me like on the edge. I don't show frustration in that moment, I just find peace within myself, and then when I get home, I reflect. Like, how can I carry my emotions in a way that doesn't seem as anger or as upset? Because I feel like back to what you said, like you have to find the right people to express your emotions with, and I feel like I have some people that I can do that with, but like moving to a different state, it's hard to find a new circle that can really they can trust and find out, find out
sure.
peace with,
Yeah.
Like back home in Kentucky, I have that peace, because I have the right people surrounding me. But right now, it's like I'm still trying to find that.
Yeah.
For me, like, I don't really. I mean, I express my emotions like when I'm overwhelmed, but like, I don't really let things get to me. Like, I don't really get angry. I can get angry in the moment, but like, I don't really let it dampen my whole mood or like my day. Cause like, whether it's getting laid off from a job or car accident, it definitely happened for a reason. Like, as long as like believing in God, like, like he knows like this path, he knows everything that's gonna happen. So nothing is a surprise to him.
Yeah.
And expressing your emotions with like to him in prayer, talking to him and things like that, you definitely get answers. So it's just like everything happens for a reason. So I've learned to like really control my emotions and talk to the right people, pray. I talk to my mom more about my emotions and yeah, so it's just like everything's really calm. Like I don't
Yeah.
really get angry, not gonna lie.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you said, at work, if someone makes you angry, like, you want to regulate that part. You don't want to like just lean into your impulse. I feel like, especially as Black people at work, especially in a white space, it's like, if we raise our voice one small, like, it's like, oh, you're this. I mean, I don't know if you guys have experienced it out there, but like, you're being watched, right? And you don't want to appear, unregulated, or that you can't control your emotions. But then at the same time, I think you said like going back home and reflecting, right? Actually feeling what that was. And I believe anger is a very good emotion, right? Because anger is saying that a boundary of mine has been crossed and I should set a boundary so that the other person knows how to treat me better. So I feel like it's okay to like feel that anger. I don't know if you guys have a like what's your
Yeah.
relationship like with anger?
I don't know. I think I resonate a lot with the finding peace in myself thing. I think I try not to be too up or too down in any scenario, which is, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword because I think it helps me a lot. Most of the time it's a good thing because it really just like allows me to either let things bounce off of me or, like I said, I can reflect on it later.
Yeah.
But then it also, I think, sometimes makes me just kind of internalize it too much or kind of push it away and not spend time to really feel how I feel. And then maybe later I'll be more angry about it if I think about
Yes.
it. But I think what's important with that is, having someone, because for me personally, like if I'm upset or something, my initial thing is, I know some people is like, oh, I want to talk to this one person. But I've just never been that way. I normally just find it in myself to figure out how I feel. But I think that's where, faith, going in prayer, talking to someone you care about or trust, or even therapy, anything like that, to really express some of those emotions. Because I think it's easy to push those down, especially when, at least I tell myself, like, I don't have time to like feel a lot of things right now.
I'll be
it's
honest.
stuff to get done.
Sorry,
No, you're
I'll be
good.
honest. When when we talk about being angry, right? You have to be careful how you're angry, because there's that one person that's waiting for you to say something that can just take them go AWOL.
Right.
Because you see in the social media how you say one thing, and then someone just goes off the wall and does something that of just being an angry person, and you say something that you might regret later. So
Right.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
sorry, there's just because we're running out of time, but I want to, but the emotion anger is different than the impulse,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
think that's something we need to really differentiate. Anger every emotion has an impulse attached to it, and most of the time we don't want to dive right into that impulse, right? Because you can feel anger in your body and you can actually be feeling hot. You can be feeling like dysregulated, right? And this is where, as a therapist, I tell my clients, like, feel that anger in your body when it comes up. Like if you need to go somewhere and like, you know, stress ball, whatever, scream, whatever it is, but rather than like punching the person in front of you, sometimes we can be so dysregulated, or we go on social media and we say those, whatever that impulse or whatever that rush is in that moment. I wouldn't advise anyone to do that. So yeah, that's a good point you brought up. Yeah. Tito.
Oh, one thing that I also like try to remind myself is that there are generally, like I say this with all seriousness, there are generally people out there that lack intelligence in the sense that like
That's true.
they actually don't comprehend like human interaction. They can't physically comprehend like people's emotions and like what would make people irritated.
Yeah.
So I tend to give like I give most people like a pass unless like I know you're intentionally doing it.
Same.
Like I just give you a pass so I don't get angry even.
No, that's very real.
That's valid.
Yeah.
A lot
That's
of people
valid.
I think emotional maturity and emotional intelligence is lacking more than we think.
Hey,
and I think I think personally, like you said, like I tend to give a lot of people benefit of the doubt. I think I'll like, you know, maybe someone and they're like mad that why would they do it this way? Like, and I'm like, well, you don't know their intention. Like some people, honestly, you don't know why they did that. There's no point in me initially putting that, unless I know you intentionally wronged me in this situation, then I can maybe expend the energy to be angry at you or whatever. But I think a lot of times, like you said, like I've just met so many different types of people in my life. And so through those experiences, I really understand people and sometimes their lack of intelligence in certain ways or whatever it is. So it kind of gives me that perspective when dealing with people and trying to process my own anger or frustration, whatever it is.
I think grace is it's a theme, right? We have to show grace because we're not also perfect. So yeah, it's okay for us to like take a step back. And I think for me, at least, the Holy Spirit helps me like show grace, right? Because sometimes if I just lean into like my attitude or how I'm feeling the impulses in the moment, like, you know, we don't show grace. But just because, you know, I feel like I wish this episode was longer, and I really am sad that this is our last question. So we might have to do this again, guys. Right? So what's something you wish younger men understood earlier about like manhood? Like imagine if you were speaking to your younger self and like all these messages that were told to you, and as an adult now you're trying to undo some of those things, maybe even related to mental health, right? How are you understanding yourself better in becoming?
I was still thinking, I don't want to go first. I mean, I think I don't necessarily think this was something I ever lacked, but I think it's important to prioritize like empathy, you know, especially as a man, and I mean as anyone really, because like I was kind of explaining before, you're going to be in so many different spaces, whether it's work, friendships, family. I always have the perspective, like, I'm not perfect. This situation that I was in, this other person may not have known this is where it was coming from. So I don't want to put that on them. I think coupling that with, being, being strategic and still being careful about your emotions and who you surround yourself with, but coupling that with being empathetic to other people's situations, what could be going on in their life, or just having that considerateness outside of yourself. I think sometimes it's easy for us to be like very us-centered, which I still am myself. So I think just having that awareness as you come up in age will help you in a lot of ways that you don't expect. So
yeah, that's good.
For me, I don't necessarily think I'll tell myself anything in the sense, because like
you were that guy.
No, not even. But like I like learning from my mistakes. So I'm grateful that I was able to make those mistakes and learn from it. But I would say something that I wish I learned earlier on is that this is like everyone's first time living. Like, treat other people how you treat yourself, because you don't know what other people are going through to make them react in that same way. So I like encourage people to think that way when they're in circumstances where they're angry at other people, because you don't know, like someone cut you off while driving. coffee probably spills on them and they're going back from work to go change and they have a project to do, like stuff like that. Like you don't know what's going on in other people's lives, so you
Right.
can't really react aggressively at other people for what they're doing, because you don't know what they're going through, and how would you want people to react to you when you're angry or when you're going through something as well.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah, I agree with you though. I don't think I would tell myself anything to change. Like I feel like he's right. Learning from your mistakes is that's why we live, you know. But the one thing I would say, tell myself, is just focus on yourself more, because I felt like my whole life I'm always caring for other people. I never focus on myself, my
Yeah.
well-being. Like I rather put someone else first than put myself first. In some situations, I need to put myself first. You know,
Yeah.
so that's probably the one thing I would tell myself, is just focus on myself more than other people sometimes.
Yeah.
Still focus on other people. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Yeah. No, I get
But
you.
sometimes put myself first.
Yeah. No, I get what you're putting down. But yeah, you guys, this was great.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna text you guys again that
Yeah,
we're doing this again.
down.
Yeah, and I know we kind of touched up a little bit on like men's mental health, but I think this is just the start of the conversation, and we can even brainstorm together on like how we can come in, because I think people are yearning for more conversations like this. And it's also given me insight too to how young men are thinking. I think there's a disconnect, and like women, we think our way, men think
Very
their
much
way,
so.
and there's a huge
Very
gap
much so.
right now where
Big one,
it's
big
us.
one.
It's
Okay,
facts,
guys,
yo.
relax.
Okay, I have a question
relax.
for you. Then. I have a question for you.
It's a big
So, do you think that, as a female, right? Do you think that there's a lot of pressure for men to perform? When I mean perform, I mean like to, because I feel like this. I don't want to say that we're cooked as a generation, but I think
No,
we're
we
cooked.
are.
I think we're kind of cooked, because people are so focused on social media and what they see their friends are doing. Like, hey, my friend's getting flown out to Dubai, all this stuff.
Yes.
How do you feel as a female?
Yeah, so honestly, I thought we would have time for that today, and maybe we could pick up on that. But for me, and I don't want to speak for all women,
sure,
but I
for
know
sure. Just
from
your
my
opinion.
yes, from my friend group, like there are a lot of expectations out there when it comes to how men should perform, right? And most, I see how you guys are really tuned in.
I'm tuned in.
I might bring some of the girls next time, and we'll
I
pick
beg.
up on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna put
But-
a chair right there.
No,
I
we can have a
beg.
panel. We can have
I'll
a
go back
panel
and
now.
forth. No,
But no, I think this is a great question, because this is where we are right now. A lot of men are being looked as like just like they're supposed to perform, be the provider, and women are. And yes, yeah, some in some aspects, sure, but there's a thin line to start just looking at the man as just this. He's supposed to do this, and you almost remove the human
Exactly.
out
And
of
I
it,
think-
right?
yeah.
And that's my opinion.
I think I'm sorry. I'm happy you said that, because I feel like that is like this is where I always tell like my female friends or my like cousins that are women or whatever, like a man is gonna like naturally want to like do all these things that girls are like, oh, he better like a lot of that stuff is just gonna naturally come if it's a woman that you care about or fine, but I think there is, as a man, you can tell when a girl kind of sees you as a man versus the person that you are, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
How you feel or things that you care about, X, Y, and Z, aren't as paramount and I think that's an issue that comes from, like you were saying, a lot of social media stuff, because it's easy to kind of get lost in like, what am I going to get out of it? Or like, even in a like malicious way, it's easy to kind of get into that mentality when, your man who is you see for your support, provide, whatever, he still has he's a human with his own like, needs, feelings, wants that he may not even want to express all the time or whatever. So you just perceive he's naturally doesn't matter, but it still does. And I think, as men, you do feel that, and you can tell when that is the case. And when that's not the case, that's when men naturally are going to want to do more of those things that the gal them are like.
Yeah,
do,
and
what I'm saying?
I agree 100%. You see,
Yeah.
you guys got me started because we have time. But I agree. And I also think a lot of, people, a lot of men, women, men, right? We're all thinking this person is out to get me, right? In different topics, not just like how men should be this or that. Women also, like, if you hear from both sides and you listen carefully, we're all functioning from this like protective place
Yeah,
because we're all so scared right now. So guys, honestly, you just gave me an idea for like one of our episodes. So
we'll talk about that next
we'll
time.
talk about we'll get back
Stay
to you guys
tuned.
about
I
this.
beg.
Stay
Stay
tuned, okay? But I just want to say thank you guys so much for taking
sure,
time
for
out
sure.
to join me on another episode.
Number
of
one
Where We Are
podcast.
Hey, by God's grace.
We're
Top
just
chart.
getting started.
But yeah, I love that, you know, we're incorporating like our faith or our lifestyle, like all of that into these talks. And I really hope that as you guys listen today, hopefully you felt like you could relate. Please share with your friends, your family members, and continue kind of reflecting on some of these topics on your own. But yeah, I'll see you guys next episode. Take care. Bye.